I'm not relaxed.
A little better now?
Well, yeah, somewhat.
Well, I'm sure that everybody's going to notice, let's hope that they do, that you're now mic'd up.
Oh yeah, I thought you was going to say that I've gained weight.
No, we're trying to put some weight on. Get to, whoa, sorry. That your guitar really irritated them because you had all the little squirrelies at the end of the headstock. Can you explain to them? I said that had to do with Dwayne. Would you explain?
Oh yeah, that's dressing the headstock, you know, and too when you can either curl it like that using a key, you know, or a wire problem. I'm wired. Casual, but I'm wired. But when Dwayne put strings on my guitar one time in Miami, he took a motel key and went whoosh, pulled him like that and made him curl. I said, that's awesome. He said, it's called dressing the headstock. And then sometimes you can make it circle, just wind it in with each other, gets them out of the way, and they look good. You know, so yeah, Dwayne showed me that, Dwayne Allman.
And you've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, it was better than cutting them off and getting stuck, you know, because as sure as you cut them off, you're going to stick your finger. Every time. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. But you go whoosh, like that, and they curl up, and everybody's happy. Fingers are good, you know. Yeah, I'm glad, you know, people want to know stuff like that.
Well, they didn't know. They were just irritated at the fact that you weren't cutting them off and you were curling them up like that.
Well, now they know. Now they know. You know, I mean, they're not exactly a joy to get off, but when you get them off, you just pop, 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 pop.
Well, then you can cut them.
Then you can cut them and get that violent sensation out.
All right, well, here's another question. Actually, this person asked like 9 or 10 questions, and we can't get to all of them, but because you wouldn't answer them because you don't think like that. That's what I said to them. What song were you most proud of that you've written?
Oh, you know, there's a couple of them. Dreams of a Hobo and Thorn Tree in the Garden are my probably up there, way up on top of everything. And in the rock and roll world, it would Tell the Truth, you know, and Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad? Those are some outstanding songs. Yeah, that's a great song. It's not the favorite off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm glad that I finally got being credited for it. You know, at least I was told. I haven't checked.
You were credited for it, but you know it's.
You know, I can't worry about all that stuff.
No. All right, and then from the same person, is there a song that you wish you had written?
No. No. I mean, I wrote
You're not like that.
Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad? You know, Ivory Jailer. You know, these great songs are part of these things. And Any Day, you know, it's like historical. I Looked Away. That was the first song that Eric and I wrote together, and it just. It's coincidence that it turned out to be the first song on the record. I don't know, I guess that's where our heads were at the time. But yeah, I haven't got anything, you know, Moon River or something like that that I wished I'd written.
Well, can you explain a little bit about I Looked Away? You've never really talked about how that was written, how it came about, you know.
Eric had some changes. When we decided to start writing, that was about after I was there for about 2 weeks. And he said, let me show you some changes. And it starts out with a G, and I played a G like a girl, you know, that funny way like a girl, you know. And he said, he stopped me right away. He went, no, do it like this, then it'll free you up so you can make a C and, you know, down to D and all these things. It opens it up for you. And so I said, I did it that way. Sure enough, and he had all the changes put together. And he said, let's start with this one. And he had all of these changes. No melody or anything like that, or storyline or anything. He started playing this thing. Well, hell, I couldn't keep up with that. He said, well, go learn this, work on this, and we'll write the song tomorrow. And so I went upstairs into my bedroom and started woodshedding and getting the changes right, getting them down right. And then the next day after breakfast, we went in the front room and just, what are we going to write about? It was like some fantasy relationship, you know. Well, she took my hand and tried to make me understand that she would always be there. But I looked away and she ran away from me today. I'm such a lonely man, you know. And it came as no surprise to me, you know. She'd leave me in misery. And the song, it just kind of started to fall out once we had a picture of what we were saying, you know, like a real intimate. So he had her briefly.
Right.
You know, but I looked away and she ran away. I mean, it's like, it was real graphic, painted a picture. But so the lyrics and melody just came very natural, you know.
So it sounds like the both of you had really co-written that one together. You really like
Yeah.
thing.
That was a real, and why does love got to be so sad? And tell the truth.
And any day.
But yeah, any day. It just came from experimenting with a bunch of different tunings, and the ones that came easy were real easy, and that would be all of them because it is not. We have such a natural chemistry when we were working together. It's great. I'm glad to have been his protege and that close to him for all those years, and the real formative years of both of our lives.
And I mean, obviously things were different then, and people change, you know. So you
Oh
went
yeah.
away and he went, and you said it was really that the drugs had split you up.
Yeah, he was doing one thing and I was doing the other, and they didn't run neck and neck. But that was really, bottom line was, you know, it was just too much going down, you know, in a chemical world. And that's unfortunate, but it was very fortunate that we went through it and survived it. I'd hate to be trying to figure out shit like that now. 73 years old.
Right.
Good God Almighty.
Well, was there a song when you were young that really struck you and made you think that you wanted to go into music? Do you remember anything that really struck you when you were young, before you became a musician?
Just looking for a home. Gotta find a home. Just looking for a home. I gotta find a home.
Can you explain
Just
that,
looking
please?
for a home. Gotta find a home. I'll be walking down Raleigh Millington Road in Millington, and I was a little bitty fella singing Bo Weevil song. That was it. Looking for a home.
In a diaper,
I was before I was in kindergarten. I have a vivid memory, really big. We lived with Granny Whitlock in a shotgun house that was right there. Jack and Geneva, and Buddy and Judy Hardy lived behind Granny, and they had another little house. Yeah, And I was a little fella, a little bitty fella. I've been singing all my life. For as long as I can remember, I've been singing. It's just like talking with a melody, as far as I'm concerned. You know, it just flows.
Right. Well, do you think that today people are as creative thinking as they were back in the early 70s and 80s as far as songwriting goes? And
I don't know. I believe that they think differently, that's for sure, because the machines and computers aren't creating. So I mean, there has to be a level of creativity to even get all that working. You know, drum beats and all that, and loops and all that kind of stuff. I don't think like that, but it takes as much creative ability to put something together out of that. Now, it might not be from that creative, everything is from that one source. You know, no matter if it's coming this way and going back that way, or coming this way and going back that way. You know, electronic, where it doesn't matter if it's electronical, a memory that's just typed into something, still comes from somebody. You know, somebody got the beats and all that together. So I mean, so there's a connection there, but I believe it's a shortcut that probably unnecessary for people who are of the mind and school and temperament and age that I am. You know, I'm not your 19, 22-year-old these days with all the funny, undefinable bass. You know, not a real rich bass tone. You know, they wouldn't know that. You know, that kind of thing, like Otis Redding, you know, the band just laying it down. You know, it's a different, but everything is different now. And see, I don't hear with those ears. I don't hear with modern ears. You know, mine are locked into the late 60s and early 70s because I was part of that. You know, so it's like my body parts. You know, it's as a part of me as my hands and feet, you know.
right. Well, there is a large portion of us from my age, your age, there are a lot of people that are still, that feel the same way about music.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not a forgotten thing or a forgotten art, you know, because all of us who were into it are still into it, you know.
We're very much alive.
Yeah, and we're just older than we were when we were 23 and 26.
But, you know, with the changes of the industry that are so massive right now, I mean,
Crazy.
It's unbelievable what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that there is a little bit of hope in that they're recognizing the audiophiles, which are the fans who are into vinyl, and they're going to be catering to those people.
Yeah.
They're going to have some apps that are, obviously it's still digital, but it's made for audiophiles, so they haven't forgotten about us completely.
I mean, all of us who were into all of that music then, or who are still alive, are still into that.
But a lot of us feel left out, so we're betwixt and between. You know, people are trying to figure out what they're supposed to do, and you know, but there is stuff going on where they actually still do care about.
Now, therein lies the problem.
What?
People trying to figure out what they're supposed to do.
That's not a problem.
Well,
because it makes you think. I think COVID has made everybody think more, you know, and come up with great ideas for alternative ways of making a living, making your music, recording, sharing with people. There's so many things that are happening right now that are really amazing. You'd be surprised. But I didn't mean to get off the track of all of that other stuff. But it's important to know how you feel about what's going on today.
Yeah, well, it's important for me to know how I feel. I've not had to have an opinion until lately, and
Because we're sort of falling away from everything. We're just going, well, whatever. Things are not like they used to be. This
no,
sucks.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, there is things you can do about it.
I mean, you can't change the past, you can utilize it, but you can't change anything. It is what it is, but certainly learn from it.
But what I'm saying is, you can't say that's the only thing and that's the only thing I'm ever going to listen to. You're cutting yourself
Lord,
off
no.
from so many things that are happening, and actually some very good things are happening.
Yeah, I don't understand most of it, but I like people, Wavy Wayne, your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some guys are getting it,
See, the thing is like when you do see stuff, then you like it. Like we've been checking out some newer bands, younger bands.
Yeah.
And there's some extremely talented, great musicians
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
And artists and songwriters, and they're out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And like with BandCamp, it's wiping out the.
They need to change that name. It's like boys camp, or something. Band camp.
Yeah, but
Bring your guitar.
the great thing about BandCamp, and why I'm even mentioning it, is that you can put your records on there, and we have some stuff on there.
Yeah.
And it wipes out the record company as the middleman, and who is actually to blame for Spotify, like giving us such low rates, and all this is going to change. But that's the record company's fault.
Well, all those real greedy people are in there right now to get as much as they can while it lasts.
Well, it's gone crazy, I can tell you.
Yeah. That's all right.
I read about it.
At least it's going somewhere,
Yeah, so I mean, there's more people now involved in music than ever.
Well, they're trying to figure out, and are doing it, how to make money, and a lot of it from it. But that's not why I got in it.
Yeah, but it's the same always for the artists. It's not that easy.
I didn't get in it to make $1. I didn't paint, and I don't paint to make money. I paint for me. I don't paint for anybody else or any other reason. I do it because I have to, and I do it for myself.
Well, there's a big difference than trying to do it and just knowing that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. There are a lot of people in the industry, yes, that's what they're trying to do, is especially one of these young kids who want to be stars.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All that stuff is fleeting, being a star.
Well, and nowadays with the streaming and being the way it is, and they're trying to get lower rates, pay lower rates, that people are writing like #1 songs and can't pay their rent. There's something horribly wrong with that.
Yeah.
And, in England, the government has stepped in and they're doing an investigation on the record companies, so they don't want that to happen.
Well, you got to write those songs first, before anything happens. But
exactly, but they're living off the writers, and the writers are getting nothing.
yeah.
So it's
I don't want to shoot down the industry any more than it's already shot itself
People
down.
are trying to find ways of getting this fixed. It's all, I think, going in a positive direction, because there are people that are actually trying to do something about it, and that's positive. For people out there who are writing.
Well, you do what you can do, and hope for the best.
And the reason I mentioned BandCamp is because you can put your songs on there, and you're bypassing a record company. So then you can.
I didn't mean a slight on it. I was just having fun with the name,
Well, you said that and changed the name.
Yeah.
What's a
got
good
the
name? What's a good name?
little wind up.
Anyway, the point was that there's so much change going on in the industry like never before. So,
Well, people are paying attention to it,
we're sort of dipping our toes back in the water again. So
Yeah. Hey, well, see what they do is like all those rich cats, they think it's easy money, you know, easy pickings because folks don't know. Most musicians haven't got a clue. They don't have a clue, you know.
That's why you better
And up
start
steps
trying to have a clue.
some dude that just, you know, just gets it all together and sells it and doesn't pay anybody, you know.
There's a lot going on, so.
But it got a lot of interest and attention, you know, just as much negative stuff as everything is, and there's that much more in a positive way. I'm certain of it, you know.
Because for every problem, there's always
Always
a
solution and growth, and personally, I should stand back, you know.
So let's hope that they go more sway towards the songwriters getting better.
Well, the songwriter is always the very last person to get a penny, if they get that. I mean, hell, the Beatles split 1 pence 4 ways, 1 penny 4 ways. The Queen got the rest, you know, management, record label, and the Queen. They split 1 penny 4 ways.
Well, you're talking about taxes there.
Yeah, tuppence. I'm not talking about taxes. I'm talking about all their monies.
I know, but
Yeah.
that included taxes. The taxes
Yeah.
very high, still are.
So I mean, no, we weren't in it for the money anyway. You know, money's good, but it comes and goes.
Well, you can tell you weren't in it for the money by the songs you were writing.
Yeah.
If you were in it for the money, you'd be writing Herman's Hermits songs.
Well, that's it.
I like
That's it.
them.
I'm leaning on the lamppost. That's Norman Wisdom. Yeah, he wrote all those.
I'm not talking about
Oh man.
Oh, and he made a fortune off those songs.
I hope that little lady comes by. She's wonderful, she's beautiful.
Oh, believe me.
Everybody can understand why I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Bah. Yeah.
Sing songs.
Norman Wisdom, that's funny stuff. Well, Herman's Hermits, they got Peter Noonan and those guys. They did all of the Norman Wisdom stuff, and nobody in America had ever heard
They did
that.
other songs, like the ones that I loved were oh, never mind. Anyway, don't even know why I went there.
You're getting carried away now that we're all big
God.
time. We got a microphone over here, and
I know I have to apologize.
so you're stretching this thing out, Coco.
Apologize. However, we can start all the way from the very beginning and do
start all over.
We can start all over.
Now that you can hear me.
Yeah.
If I could only hear you, you know.
You can hear me. I apologize, folks. I should have done. I didn't know I could.
No, hell. You don't know what you don't know, you know.
So you know it. Yeah.
Now we do. So we got one of these little, and for the next, it makes you really feel like you're on air.
Yeah.
The air.
Thank you very much for indulging us today.
Oh, it's been fun.
Bye. Until next time.
Yeah, that's about all I can say. Thank you. Bye.